The final straw came 2 weeks after the initial confrontation. I got a call from my mom saying she needed to talk to me urgently. Something in her voice made me nervous, so I agreed to meet her at a coffee shop near campus. When I arrived, my mom was already there. But she wasn't alone. Valentina was with her. I should have left right then, but something made me sit down. "Thank you for coming," my mom started. "What's this about?" My mom and Valentina exchanged looks. Then my mom said, "We've been talking and we think we've come up with a compromise." Oh no. "What kind of compromise?" Valentina leaned forward. "You give me $7,000 now for Diego's immediate needs and education fund. Then you move back home to save on rent, and we split the remaining $8,000, $4 for you to finish university, and $4 that you give me over the next 2 years to help with Diego's expenses." I just stared at them. "Are you out of your minds?" "Marcus, it's a fair compromise." "Fair? You want me to give up $7,000 immediately, move back into a house I left specifically to escape this kind of drama, and then give you half of what's left over 2 years?" "It's not half of what you're saving," Valentina corrected. "It's half of what you'd be saving by not paying rent." "I don't care how you're justifying it. The answer is no." My mom's face fell. "Marcus, please. We're trying to find a middle ground." "There is no middle ground, Mom. This is my money. I earned it, and I'm using it for the exact purpose I earned it for, my education." "But Valentina needs it more." "No, she doesn't. She wants it more. There's a difference." Valentina's eyes filled with tears. "So you're just going to let your nephew suffer because you're greedy?" That word again. Greedy. "Diego isn't suffering, Valentina. He has a roof over his head, food to eat, clothes to wear, and 2 parents who love him. One parent who loves him and another who ran away. But that's not my fault, and it's not my responsibility to fix." "Marcus," my mom gasped. But I was done. "Do you want to know what's really messed up about this whole situation? I have been working since I was 18 years old. For 6 years, I have worked myself to exhaustion to save for my education. And in those 6 years, not once did either of you ask me how I was doing. Not once did you notice that I was struggling. Not once did you offer to help me. But Valentina complains constantly, and suddenly everyone rallies around her. She posts on social media about being a struggling single mom, and everyone falls over themselves to help her. The difference isn't that her situation is harder than mine was. The difference is that she's loud about her struggles and I'm quiet about mine. And now you're both sitting here trying to guilt me into giving her money that I earned, that I need, that I have every right to use for my own future. And you're calling me greedy for saying no? You know what's actually greedy? Expecting someone else to sacrifice their dreams because you made poor choices. That's greedy. I stood up. I'm not giving Valentina any money. I'm not moving back home, and I'm not going to keep having this conversation. "Then you're not welcome at family gatherings anymore," Valentina said coldly. I looked at my mom, waiting for her to contradict Valentina, to say that of course I was still welcome. She didn't. "Fine," I said. "Good luck with everything." And I left. It's been a month since that coffee shop meeting. A month since I've spoken to my parents or Valentina. A month since I've been to a family gathering. And honestly, I feel lighter than I have in years. The first few days were hard. I felt guilty, like maybe I really was being selfish, like maybe I should just give them some money to keep the peace. But then I talked to my university advisor about what I was going through. I didn't give her all the details, but I explained the basic situation. My family wanted me to give up my savings to help my sister. Her response was immediate and firm. "Don't do it. I've seen too many students drop out because they sacrificed their education for family obligations. Your education is your ticket to a better life. Don't give that up." That conversation helped more than she probably realized. I also started therapy. The university offers free counseling services, and I figured I should probably talk to someone about everything that had happened. My therapist helped me understand something crucial. I'd been conditioned my entire life to believe that my needs were less important than everyone else's, that my job in the family was to work hard, ask for nothing, and give everything when asked. That's not a healthy family dynamic, she told me. Healthy families support each other. They don't demand that one person sacrifice everything while everyone else takes.
She also helped me see that my parents' broken promise about paying for university wasn't just unfortunate, it was a betrayal. They made a commitment to me and then broke it without apology, and then acted like I was wrong for being upset about it. I've been doing a lot of thinking about Valentina too, and here's what I've realized. I don't actually hate her. I'm angry at her, yes. I'm frustrated by her choices, definitely, but I don't hate her. What I hate is the way our family has enabled her. They've taught her that complaining loud enough will get you help, that making poor choices is fine as long as you can guilt someone else into fixing them for you, that being a victim gets you sympathy and support, while working hard and staying quiet gets you nothing. Valentina isn't the problem. She's a symptom of the problem. The problem is a family culture that values appearance over reality, that prioritizes keeping the peace over treating everyone fairly, that measures worth by how much you need rather than how much you contribute. And I can't fix that culture. I can only remove myself from it. I've been doing well in university. My grades are good. Actually, they're great. I made Dean's List last semester. I'm studying computer science, and I've already had 2 professors mention potential internship opportunities for next summer. None of that would have been possible if I'd given up my college fund. About 2 weeks ago, my cousin Anna reached out to me. She asked if we could meet for coffee, just the 2 of us. I was hesitant, but Anna had been one of the few people who hadn't completely attacked me, so I agreed. When we met up, she looked uncomfortable. "She needs to tell you something," she said, "and you're probably going to be mad." "What is it?" "Valentina's been posting on social media. She's telling people that you have this huge amount of money and you're refusing to help your nephew. She's making you look really bad." I sighed. Of course she was. "But," Anna continued, "some people are starting to ask questions, like, why does Valentina think she's entitled to your money? And how did you save so much working multiple jobs while she was living rent-free?" I raised an eyebrow. Are people actually questioning her narrative? Some are. Not everyone, but some. Anna hesitated. "Marcus, there's something else. Something I don't think you know about Valentina's situation." "What do you mean?"
Anna looked around the coffee shop like she was making sure no one could hear us. "Diego's father. You said he ran away when she told him she was pregnant, right?" "That's what she told everyone." "That's not what happened." Anna leaned closer. "I only know this because I overheard my mom talking to your mom about it. Valentina got pregnant on purpose. She was trying to trap him into marriage." I felt my stomach drop. "What?" "She told him she was on birth control when she wasn't. She thought if she got pregnant, he'd marry her because he came from a wealthy family. But when she told him, he accused her of trying to trap him and left. That's why he's never been in Diego's life. He believes, probably correctly, that she deliberately got pregnant to access his family's money." I sat back in my chair, processing this information. "Does the rest of the family know?" "Your parents know. I'm not sure about everyone else. But they've been keeping it quiet because it would make Valentina look bad." Suddenly, everything made more sense. Valentina's situation wasn't just bad luck or poor judgment. It was a calculated risk that had backfired spectacularly. And my family had been covering for her, making her look like a victim when she'd actually been trying to manipulate someone. "Anna, why are you telling me this?" She looked me in the eyes. "Because I've been watching how they treat you, and it's not fair. You worked your ass off for 6 years to save that money. You deserve to use it for your education. And Valentina doesn't deserve to benefit from your hard work just because her scheme didn't work out." After Anna left, I sat in that coffee shop for another hour, just thinking. Part of me wanted to use this information to expose Valentina, to show the family that their precious, struggling single mother wasn't quite the victim she'd been portraying herself as. But another part of me realized it wouldn't matter. My family had already chosen their side. Even if I exposed Valentina's lies, they'd probably just find a way to justify it. She was young, she made a mistake. Diego is still innocent in all this. So I made a decision. I wasn't going to expose Valentina, not because I was protecting her, but because I was protecting myself. Engaging in family drama wasn't going to help me. It would just drag me back into their toxicity. Instead, I was going to focus on my own life. I blocked Valentina's number. I blocked my parents' numbers too. I told the few family members I still trusted, Anna, one of my uncles who'd been quietly supportive, that I was taking a break from family gatherings, and I'd appreciate if they didn't share information about me with the rest of the family. Then I threw myself into university, into my studies, my part-time job, building a life that had nothing to do with my family's dysfunction. It's been about a month and a half total since that initial confrontation, and I'm doing okay. Better than okay, actually. I've made friends at university, real friends who don't expect anything from me except friendship. I joined a study group for my computer science classes. I even started dating someone, which is new for me since I spent my late teens and early 20s working too much to have a social life. My studio apartment is still tiny, but I've made it feel like home. I put up some posters, got some plants, found a used thrift store at a bookshelf. It's mine, and nobody can take it from me. Last week, something interesting happened. I got a message request on social media from Diego's father, the guy Valentina had tried to trap. The message said, "Hi Marcus, I know this is probably weird, but I heard about what happened with your family. I wanted to reach out because I think you deserve to know the truth about my situation with Valentina." I stared at that message for a long time before responding. Did I want to open this can of worms? Eventually, curiosity won out. I accepted the message request. He told me his side of the story. How he and Valentina had been dating for a few months, how she had assured him she was on birth control, and how when she got pregnant, she had immediately started talking about marriage and meeting his family. And when he expressed hesitation, she had told him that his family's money would ensure Diego had the life he deserves. She basically admitted she'd gotten pregnant to access his family's wealth. I panicked and left. I know that makes me a coward, but I was 24 and she had just admitted to reproductive coercion. I didn't know what to do. He continued, "I've tried to be involved in Diego's life. I've offered child support, offered to set up an education fund for him, but Valentina's lawyers keep demanding amounts that are clearly designed to support her lifestyle, not just Diego's needs. When I refused to pay for her car and her apartment and her personal expenses, she cut me off from Diego completely. I haven't seen my son in 2 years." I didn't know what to say to that. Part of me felt sympathy for him. He'd been manipulated and now he was keeping from his son. But another part of me thought, well, you still left your child, dude. But then he said something that really struck me. "I heard your family is pressuring you to give up your savings for Diego. Please don't, not because of me, but because Valentina will just use it for herself. She's never been good with money and she's never been honest about what she needs it for. I've offered multiple times to directly pay for Diego's expenses, school, clothes, activities, and she refuses. She wants cash she can control." That confirmed what I've been suspecting. This wasn't really about Diego. It was about Valentina wanting money. I thanked him for reaching out and told him I'd already decided not to give Valentina any of my savings. Then I asked him something that had been bothering me. If you want to be involved in Diego's life, why don't you go through the courts? You have parental rights. His response, "I've been trying, but your family has been coaching Valentina on what to say to make me look like an unfit father. They've been helping her build a case that I abandoned Diego, when the reality is she's been using him as leverage to extort money from me." I felt sick reading that. My family, my parents, have been actively helping Valentina manipulate Diego's father? Everything I thought I knew about this situation had been turned upside down. I spent the next few days thinking about everything I'd learned, about Valentina's reproductive coercion, about Diego's father wanting to be involved but being blocked, about my parents covering for Valentina and helping her manipulate the situation. And I realized something. I'd made the right choice walking away. This wasn't just about money or college funds. This was about a family with deeply dysfunctional patterns of behavior. Manipulation, enabling, covering up the truth, demanding sacrifice from the one person who never asked for anything. If I'd given Valentina that money, I wouldn't have been helping Diego. I'd have been funding Valentina's lifestyle and enabling her manipulative behavior. And I'd have been teaching Diego that manipulation works. That if you complain loud enough and play the victim well enough, people will give you what you want. That's not a lesson I want to be part of teaching my nephew. Yesterday, I got an email from my mom. Not a text. She couldn't text since I blocked the number, but an email. The subject line was family emergency. My heart jumped. I opened it immediately, thinking something had happened to my grandmother or someone was hurt. The email said, "Marcus, Valentina's landlord is threatening to evict her because she's 3 months behind on rent. She needs $2,000 immediately or she and Diego will be homeless. I know you're angry, but please, this is an emergency. I'm begging you to help your nephew. He doesn't deserve to be homeless because of our family arguments." I read that email 3 times. Then I responded, "Mom, I'm sorry Valentina is struggling with rent, but I'm not giving her money. Here's why. If she's 3 months behind on rent, she's had 3 months to figure out a solution. This isn't a sudden emergency, it's a consequence of ongoing poor financial decisions. Diego has 2 parents. If his mother can't afford rent, his father should be contacted to help. I know for a fact he's offered to pay Diego's expenses directly. You and Dad have been helping Valentina financially for 4 years. If you want to help her avoid eviction, use your own money. Valentina's been telling everyone I'm selfish for not giving her my college fund. Now she's using Diego as emotional leverage. This is manipulative behavior and I'm not rewarding it. Most importantly, I am a 24-year-old student. I am not Diego's parent. I am not financially responsible for him. Caring about my nephew doesn't mean I have to destroy my own financial stability to bail out his mother. If Valentina is truly about to be evicted, here are some actual solutions. She can ask Diego's father for help. She can ask you and Dad for help. She can apply for emergency assistance from local charities. She can get a job. She can move in with you and Dad like she did before. What she cannot do is expect me to solve all her problems with money I saved for my education. I love Diego. I hope he has a good life, but I'm not sacrificing my future for her mother's poor planning. Please don't contact me again unless there's an actual family emergency. Valentina's financial problems are not my emergencies. Marcus. I hit send and immediately felt a weight lift off my shoulders. 10 minutes later, I got a response from my dad's email account. It was short. "You're dead to this family." I read those words and waited for the hurt, for the sadness, for the crushing weight of being disowned by your own parents. It didn't come. Instead, I felt free. Because of being part of this family meant sacrificing myself over and over for people who didn't appreciate it, then I didn't want to be part of it anyway. I have 1 semester left before I graduate. 1 semester, and then I'll have my degree in computer science. I've already had companies reaching out about internships that could lead to full-time positions. My savings will last until graduation. I might have to get more hours at my part-time job or take out a small loan for my final semester, but I'll make it work. And when I graduate, I'm leaving this country. I'm going somewhere where I can actually build a life, where my degree means something, where I'm not constantly being pulled back into family drama. I'm building the life I've been working toward for 6 years, the life I saved for, the life I earned. This morning, I got a message from my cousin Aina. "Your parents are telling everyone you refused to help Diego when he was about to be homeless. Just wanted you to know." I thanked her for the heads up, but told her I didn't care anymore what my family was creating about me. Because here's what I've learned. You can't control what other people think about you. You can't force people to see your side of things. You can't make people acknowledge your sacrifices or appreciate your efforts. All you can do is protect yourself, set boundaries, and build the life you want. That's what I'm doing. My family chose Valentina. They chose to enable her manipulative behavior, to cover for her lies, to demand that I sacrifice my future for her present. And I choose myself. I choose my education. I choose my future. I choose the life I worked 6 years to build. To anyone reading this who's in a similar situation, family demanding you give up your dreams, your savings, your future to fix someone else's problems, I want you to hear this. You are not selfish for protecting yourself. You are not greedy for using money you earned for the purpose you earned it for. You are not a bad person for refusing to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Family is important, but family is supposed to support you, not drain you. And when family becomes toxic, when they demand everything and give nothing, when they punish you for having boundaries, you have every right to walk away. I'm 24 years old. I have 1 semester left of university. I have a future ahead of me that I built with my own hands. And I'm not apologizing for that anymore. My college fund is mine. My future is mine. My life is mine. And no amount of guilt, manipulation, or family obligation is going to change that. So to answer the original question, am I the asshole for refusing to give my college fund to my nephew? No, I'm not. I'm just someone who finally learned to choose himself. It's been 2 months since I sent that email to my mom. 2 months of complete silence from my family, except for Anna, who checks in occasionally. I found out through Anna that Valentina didn't actually get evicted. Turns out Diego's father, when he heard about the eviction threat, went directly to her landlord and paid the back rent plus 3 months forward. But he set it up so the money went straight to the landlord, not to Valentina. Valentina was furious, apparently. She wanted the cash so she could use it for other things. But Diego's father has apparently gotten smarter about how he provides support. Everything goes directly to covering Diego's actual needs, with no cash that Valentina can redirect. My parents tried to cover the narrative by telling extended family that I refused to help, and Diego's father stepped in like family should. But Anna said several family members have started asking questions about why they keep expecting me to pay for everything when Diego has a father who's willing and able to help. The cracks in the narrative are starting to show. As for me, I'm 2 months away from graduation. I have a job offer from a tech company in another country. They're sponsoring my work visa and everything. The salary is more than my parents make combined. I'll be leaving this country 3 weeks after graduation, leaving my family's drama, leaving the guilt and the expectations and the constant demands. I'm building the life I saved for, and I've never felt more sure that I made the right choice. Sometimes the family you're born into isn't the family you need. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is walk away. This is me walking away, and I'm not looking back.